Damn, Mike, he just snapped on her. I had a feeling that he was gonna blow. Hey my beautiful peeps, if you're new here, my name is Char and welcome to Char TV. For my existing subscribers, I appreciate you coming on back. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a recap on part 2 of the tell-all for before the 90 days. If you're familiar with my videos, then you know I'm going to break it down by couple that I usually do recaps on just to cut down on time. And just a reminder, you might want to hit the subscribe button because we have a blast in the community tab. I do polls, I post funny memes, I post questions to get your opinion on things that happen on the show. It's a fun time in here and we're just like a family. Before I jump into the recap, I do have a quick shout out and it goes to Victoria I. Miller. Thanks so much for your lovely comment. I'm so happy that you're enjoying my content. Now let's jump into the recap. I'll be starting with Kim and Usman, aka Soulja Boy. Kimberly stormed off the stage after seeing the clip where Usman had called Zara. Jamal follows shortly after to try to console his mother. She feels that everything that she has done, it's like it's a slap in the face for Usman to call Zara. This really took her by surprise because Usman has always been open and honest with her, but this phone call she did not know about. She can't even think straight right now, but you better believe she's gonna address it later with him. Moments later, she returned to the stage and Sean wanted to know how Jamal felt about the call. He thought that it was very disrespectful towards his mother, especially that Usman knew how Kimberly felt about him. She did so much for Usman and it seems like he was just juggling on what he wanted to do. Jamal feels that there's some sort of connection or some type of feelings between him and Zara, and Kimberly agrees.
I will tell you what happened and I want you guys to listen to me. Zara and I break up and we don't even talk.
I'm gonna be honest, Usman.
Let me land, please. If I want to go with Zara, it's easy. It's easy. I can tell Kimberly, so you know what? I'm not in a relationship, I'm not interested, then I'll go with Zara.
I'm at a loss.
I don't have any feelings for her. You believe me, fine. You don't believe me, fine.
Sean said to Usman that the words came out of his mouth and the flirting seemed so natural for him. I have to agree there. In fact, it seemed to me like his eyes lit up when he was talking to Zara, which is something that I don't see when he's speaking to Kimberly. Or was I just seeing things? What do you think? Usman said that it's easy for him to cheat with somebody. He makes his own living. And if he wants to have sex with any woman, he can go anywhere to pretty much get it. And he doesn't have to bring Kimberly all the way out there just to make her look like a fool. He can sleep with a woman if he wants to, but he does not do that.
Wow. That's comforting.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's true. But that's true. That's the reality because you are not here, Kimberly. You can do the same if you want to in America. I don't know. If you want to break up with me right now, fine. You can do whatever you want to do.
But Usman, why did you call Zara?
I'm just telling you that I will never ever cheat.
Now Jasmine piped him because you know she has an issue with exes and they really rub her the wrong way. And she said that this thing with exes, it's messed up and it needs to stop. She feels that he should have been the one to make sure that Kimberly knew about it. Usman said, well, she knows me, and Kimberly said, well, I didn't know about the phone call. And he said he forgot. You didn't forget. Jasmine said that's not something that you forget. And he said that he swears on his life. Now I saw something interesting that I'll share with you if you don't have access to Instagram. I saw that Usman had made a post pretty much saying that Sharp Entertainment made him make that phone call. It took them 2 hours of convincing for him to do so. And apparently the phone call did not happen immediately after Kimberly had left. In fact, it had taken place 5 days into him being in Zanzibar. Now we all know that production likes to do shady things. It's no secret, right? But at the same time, he looked so happy to speak to Zara and he was flirting with her, you know, his chest all open and whatnot. And since I saw the post, he has deleted it. But I still have it in the community tab. That's another reason why you should subscribe, because I make sure all of the juice is there. So drop your thoughts and let me know what you think. Jamal said to Usman, well, you're over here yelling and saying that you can get any woman that you want. Now, if you know you're not in the wrong, just simply say that. All this acting out that Usman is doing makes Jamal think that something is really up.
I get so pissed and mad when somebody tries to tell me I do something that I didn't. I feel so like that is so unfair.
How do you think I feel not knowing about it and sitting here watching it? So
I know
now
you feel bad.
take yourself out of it and think of me, and I'm sitting here watching this. I knew nothing about it.
What I want you to understand here is that I didn't have sex with anybody. It was a phone call.
Hamza pipes in and says that he really respects Usman, but he feels like the video there are real emotions and that it seems real. And also that he should take Kimberly into consideration because she's an amazing woman. Mike feels that the context of the call was a bit too flirty for someone that says he doesn't have feelings for and has broken up with. And at this point, Sean said, okay, there's two men on the stage that says there is a connection between you and Zara. And he said, that's fine. He's not worried about that. He's just concerned with how Kimberly is feeling. Jamal leaves the stage, and I just have to say, I love the way that he has his mother's back. Now, backstage, Ben had a few things to say to Kimberly.
I feel like everybody thinks Usman has a type. He likes older women, and like all the young girls, you know, dropping his DMs. You're not worried about that because he has a type. I think, you know, you really can't get to that point of true intimacy where you're just like, you are boyfriend and girlfriend until you get that face to face. And then everything behind you is just got to go. Like, you can't bring it up, it's in the past.
Kimberly said to Ben, well, don't sit up here and act all passery and act like you can judge us all when you need some judgment on yourself. And that's how she feels. You go, Kimberly. He got nerve to talk. And that is pretty much all between Kim and Usman. On to Gino and Jasmine. They roll the clips of when Jasmine finds out about Gino sending the nude pics. Especially the scene where she knocked the hat off of his head and exposed the tuft of hair on the back of his head, and then Gino whipped out the reserve hat from his backpack. He put that sucker on real quick. Gino wanted to clarify that he takes full responsibility as to what happened, but he did not send nude pics, plural. It happened a couple months after meeting Jasmine because he was excited to see her.
Now my ex, she rubbed me the wrong way when we broke up, and she was saying a lot of stuff to me about her new boyfriend and stuff. So what this was my immaturity, and trying to get back at her and revenge. Now what happened was I selected a group of pictures on my phone, and one of the pictures I accidentally sent was a topless photo.
It was one time and it was meant to be a one and done. He didn't send the nude pic of her on purpose and insisted that it was just the one. Jasmine said to Gino, well, you sent 3 different pictures. And again, Gino was insisting that it was just one. Again, she said that there were 3. She said, you're telling me that you made that mistake 3 times? He's like, no. There he goes with his shifty eyes. You know he's lying. Sean said to him, well, it seems like the story is changing. You're telling Jasmine one thing, and now it's another.
So are you saying that Jasmine doesn't have her story straight?
What story
Jasmine
is that?
said that you sent a picture, then a text, then a picture, then a text, then a picture. She said you sent 3 photos.
That were nude. That were nude.
No. It was only one partial nude pic.
So Jasmine doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, it was only one partial nude pic.
Jasmine said the issue is that she never saw Gino's phone. And Alice said, well, why don't you just show her your phone, because that will prove on your end that it's just the one text. Jasmine said that he deleted it. Mike chimed in and said, well, if you don't have anything to hide, why would you delete it?
Because, well, it had nothing. I accidentally sent the one partially nude picture, and that was a one-time thing.
So you know that you were like wrong. Like that was probably a very bad idea.
Yes, that was very wrong of me to do it, and it's a lesson learned for me not to do it again.
I just wanted to make clear that was very painful for me. And we still have a lot of things to work on.
They take a break backstage, and Ben gave Gino a good old squeeze and said that he felt like he just had to step up, since Gino looked a bit frazzled. Ben suggested that perhaps Gino and Jasmine should seek some professional help, and Gino said, well, that was all in the past. And Ben said yes, but obviously those issues are being carried forward. Now back on stage, Jessica joins for Ben and Mahogany's segment. So of course her and Jasmine got into it partway through. Because remember in part 1 of the tell-all, we found out that Gino messaged her. So Sean wants to clear the air.
Jessica, you said that Gino reached out to you first, right?
Correct.
Gino, you said Jessica reached out to you first.
Mm-hmm.
Should I pull up the DM where it's at the very top of the conversation and he sends me a message and says, I just have to ask, are you Sicilian?
He was not even flirting on you and you are not his type. Give me a break.
You're so jealous. Calm down. Did you see my response? No,
I'm not even jealous.
She's mad because Jessica lied and that her heart is fake. And Mahogany agreed. At that point, it was getting a little bit messy. Couldn't understand what people are saying. And Sean had to shut that down, and I'm so glad that she did. Jessica proceeded to talk about the text that Gino sent first, asking her if she was Sicilian. And Jasmine said, you're messing with the wrong bitch. Because you know she crazy. So Gino and Jasmine's segment was over, and backstage, Gino feels that he doesn't feel that today made their relationship any stronger. If anything, it hurt him to relive all of those difficult moments. And not to mention, it just got Jasmine all riled up again. He's hoping that they'll find a way to make things work. And that's pretty much all between Gino and Jasmine. Well, let's see what happens, because remember, he has filed for the K1 visa. So now I guess it's left up to Jasmine if she still wants to move to the US. I guess we shall see what happens. On to Memphis and Hamza. Now Memphis had to walk off stage because she wasn't feeling well. She had a headache and she was sick backstage, and she changed and she came back onto the set and said that she has to leave. And it was all too much for her. Even though she left, Hamza decided to stay. They rolled the clips of when Memphis told Hamza that she was pregnant. Sean said congrats on the new baby and asked Hamza if he was able to be there for the birth. He said that he wanted to be there for the birth, but because of COVID, the consulate had delayed his paperwork. So unfortunately, he missed the birth.
So how old was your baby when you first saw them?
شهر وجمعة.
5 weeks old. Okay, so how does it feel to be a father for the very first time?
توا مانيش مصدق روحي ان اب اول حاجة، وجتني حسيتها بأحسن حاجة، أحسن كادو في حياتي.
Congratulations. I'm so glad you're here.
Yes. Welcome. Welcome to America.
Now towards the end of the show, Hamza said that his future is hard because he's in the US and away from his family, and he has a lot of responsibilities now. He wants to bring his mother to stay with him and hopefully settle in the US. And unfortunately, that's all between Memphis and Hamza. Not too much. On to Mike and Ximena. They roll the clips of the fight where Mike had called Ximena stupid, and Sean wants to know how he feels about the breakup. He said that he felt really bad because he said some nasty things that he wished that he did not say. He didn't mean to call her what he did. Sean said to Mike, so you're back together as a couple? To which Mike said yes. She then asked Ximena the same question.
Si me dio mi novio, sí. Pues, o sea, volvimos como a hablar y pues estamos de novios otra vez. Vea, yo ahorita que estoy en Cartagena, pues voy a ver qué es lo que me haya cambiado y seguiremos juntos hasta que nos casemos. O sea, espero que le haya cambiado sus cosas malas y que él me diga lo que yo debo de cambiar. Porque yo no voy a decir que yo soy perfecta porque no lo es así.
Jasmine chimes in and says that she believes that Ximena was really bitchy towards Mike. The way that she has treated him gives her the impression that she's not with Mike for love. Ximena says, well, she's not in love with him, but he knows that. She definitely has made that quite clear. In the beginning of the relationship, she did feel that she was in love with him during the first trip. But after the first trip, her feelings had totally changed. Jasmine said to her, well, if you feel like you don't love him, what makes you think that things are going to work? And Ximena said, well, he says that he has changed some things. And if relationship is going to continue, they will move forward. And if not, then they will end things when they're in Cartagena. Of course, I probably pronounced that wrong.
Mike, she's been honest to you, and she has said it that she doesn't love you. She just said that to me. She's not in love with you.
I'm sorry, Mike.
I don't have any words right now.
No te pongas así, por favor. Tú sabes que yo te quiero mucho. Pero te necesito tiempo.
Time for what? He's paying all of her bills. What does he need to... What do you need time for? He's been there already. He's proved to you what a good person he is.
Kimberly is like, what more can she want? She said that her heart is breaking for Mike right now. Ximena feels that people don't understand her, having him right in front of her with the way that he behaved. He was so rough and so rude. Jasmine said, well, you were rude to him also, and Ximena did agree with that. Ella chimes in and says to Ximena, do you understand that a relationship goes two ways? Because you're asking Mike to change all of these things, and then here you are after he's worked so hard, giving it his all, and all you can say is you don't love him. Then Hamza said that he sees that Mike is a nice person, but that the relationship is one-sided. He's in love, but Ximena is not, and he doesn't see a future between them. Usman said that he needs to get out of the relationship because he's there taking care of her and the children, and she's saying that she doesn't love him. He needs to just end things. Now, John and Nelsie join the stage, and Mike is starting to look stressed. Sean asked them both, how do they see the relationship?
It's the same way everybody sees it. She's just with him because of her money. He is buying her love, or whatever it is. Not love, because this is not love. This is not the way. He's just buying her things.
He's buying her attention,
Companionship.
You can clearly see it in her face when she's kissing him, when she's hugging him. That's not the kind of love.
Yes.
If something happens to you, Mike, like, God forbid, knock on wood, there's an accident. You can't provide, you can't work. You're gone, bro. You're never gonna hear from her again.
Sean said to Ximena, it seems like a lot of people feel that you're just in the relationship for money. She said no, and that it's not about money because he helps her a lot, and she thanks him. Now, Nelsie tried to talk to Ximena, but Ximena was just ignoring her. So John tried to talk to her and said, well, why are you with Mike? She said, he gave me a hand from the start, and Nelsie interrupted right away and said, he didn't give you a hand, he gave you everything, not just a hand. Mike asked Ximena if she would leave if anything were to happen to him. He wanted to hear it from her mouth. Ximena said, no, why would I leave? And Nelsie was like, oh my God, of course. And then said, you can't even tolerate his farts. Ximena said, well, they haven't been living together for years. They've been trying for 1 or 2 weeks.
Semana, 2 semanas tratando de vivir juntos y 1 año chapeándolo, 1 año cogiéndole todo su dinero.
Sí, puede ser así como tú lo quieras decir.
Exactly. Isn't that crazy? Oh my God.
Oh no, she just admitted it.
Oh wow. I want to ask this question, is Mike being used by voodoo? Does that lady, I mean, did she use voodoo on you? Because like it is clear, she didn't love you, she said it.
Apparently her vagina's got voodoo.
Leave her, move on.
And eventually, I guess it was too much for Ximena because she unplugged her mic, said goodbye, and left. Mike asked if someone could try and get her to come back. Jasmine said she knows women like Ximena and that she won't stop until she destroys him and takes everything. John and Nelsie agreed and said that when Mike gets back to the hotel, he'll probably call Ximena and apologize on their behalf. And they made it clear that they are not apologizing. Nelsie said to Mike, you know that we love you and we just have your best interest. Mike said that before they joined in, that Ximena said she was going to give him a second chance. Nelsie said, give you a second chance? You should be giving her a second chance. John was petty and said, what, you gotta send her a direct deposit? And Mike said, we'll see what happens. Ximena returns and said that she's not gonna sit there and just let them say whatever they want. She doesn't understand why they're interfering in a relationship of 2.
Esto es una relación de una, porque la persona que tú estás... Shut up! Do not tell me to shut up.
Then just leave.
So then I'll leave.
No, see, sit down.
And good luck with her.
Tell Ximena, come back, I want to talk to her. Tell her the person she hates gone.
Damn, Mike, he just snapped on her. I had a feeling that he was gonna blow. Again, Ximena returns after her outfit change, and Mike said to her that he's his own man and will make his own decisions. Everyone here has their own opinions, but he still wants to meet up with her and see how things work out. But if she can be more understanding and actually change. The change is that he wants her to learn English and he offered to help her. Ximena said that she's tried before, but it's really hard. Hamza feels that Mike is under some spell and that this ain't gonna work. Johnny can see how deeply Mike loves Ximena and asked her if from now on does she really want to try and love him. Mike really wants things to go back to how they were on the first trip, and Ximena said that she wants to give it a chance. And then she left again. And now Mike is feeling a lot better after what she said. Now once their segment was over, backstage Mike did feel that they were being attacked. He just wants to call Ximena and tell her how he really feels. Both of them need to put in effort to make their relationship stronger.
Hola, Ximena. Sí, tú y yo trabajar solo, no mis amigos. Este es nuestra relación. Otras personas no pasa nada. Amor. Trabajar muy duro en Cartagena, en la relación. Sí.
Ximena said that she's going to work hard and that she's going to live with him. They'll get married and she'll do whatever she can so they can't say that it's not true. Mike said yes and she said that she loves him. He said thank you and they say their goodbyes. He really feels like she would change for the better this time. And that is everything between Mike and Ximena. That concludes my recap. I hope that you enjoyed it. I did enjoy part 2 of the tell-all. I'm glad the other couples got a chance to speak since part 1 was just Gino and Jasmine and Kim and Usman. It was really touching to see how Jamal was sticking up for his mom, and I can just imagine how Kimberly addressed the Zara call with Usman. She probably gave him a mouthful. But they seem to be doing fine on social media, from what I can see anyway. As for Memphis and Hamza, that's too bad that Memphis got sick. I was hoping to hear a little bit more of what she had to say, but guess that didn't happen. I am seeing things on both ends, and I just hope that both of them are treating each other well. That's all I gotta say on that. As for Mike and Ximena, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of back and forth. We're together, we're not, we're together, we're not. Ay, ay, ay. They're just not good together at all. It is so toxic. Let me know your thoughts on part 2 of the tell-all. Drop a comment down below. I'd definitely like to see your thoughts on part 2 of the tell-all. Did you enjoy part 2 better than 1 or 1 better than 2? Let me know. If you enjoyed my recap, please give me a thumbs up. I definitely like to see that. And of course, like I said, if you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Hit that red button and join the family. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I will be doing recaps for the new season of 90 Day Fiance, which starts April 17. I will be recapping just 4 of the couples out of the 7, you know, just to cut down on time. So definitely keep your eyes open for the recaps. Thanks for watching, my beautiful peeps, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!